73-year-old O.A. Anders was a beloved supervisor on the Lincoln County School Board. His job involved monitoring students who were in school suspension, and he genuinely enjoyed every moment of it. The kids seemed to adore him as well. Anders was a devoted family man with a supportive wife and children, although one particular passion of his raised a few eyebrows. What started as a quirky pastime evolved into a full-blown obsession that consumed his every moment. I became convinced that spotting a lost or dropped penny was a divine sign, reminding me to always be thankful, Anders said. There were days when I missed my prayers, and more often than not, a stray penny would appear to remind me. While many people see a penny as just a coin, O.A. Anders sees it as a spiritual prompt. A man of deep faith, Anders' religious convictions were the root of his penny obsession. He viewed each found penny as a personal blessing from above. Little did he realize just how many blessings were in store for him. When Anders picked up his first penny, he had no idea he'd continue this ritual for 45 years. As his collection grew, so did his obsession. So strong was his belief that pennies were gifts from God that he decided to stop spending them altogether. Every penny he came across, he kept. And whenever he made a purchase with cash, he made sure his change included at least 3 to 4 pennies. What began as a harmless habit gradually became a significant part of his life. His friends and family got so accustomed to this peculiar behavior that it no longer seemed unusual to them. The sheer volume of pennies he amassed was astonishing. "I would never spend a penny," Anders declared. "I'd break $1 before giving up a single penny." His dedication was so intense that when his students at school learned of his unusual fascination, they were eager to assist. They often brought handfuls of pennies to his class, but Anders had principles. "I never let anyone, not even my wife or kids, give me pennies without being compensated," he explained. So he paid them for their contributions. Anders diligently continued his penny collection for 45 years, eventually filling 15 5-gallon plastic jugs with nothing but pennies. There were simply too many to count, and Anders could only estimate that his collection contained hundreds of thousands of pennies. But he was about to find out. The collection grew so vast that he faced a dilemma when renewing his home insurance. His insurer refused to cover the value of his penny collection. Faced with no other option, Anders decided it was time to visit the bank and convert his treasured hoard into cash. He had no clue how much his collection was worth, but he recalled a story about a coin collection that had turned into a fortune. Despite his collection being mostly modern pennies, he hoped that, with enough time, they might be worth as much as $1 million. One notable example was the 1943 Lincoln wheat penny. An error in this coin made it extraordinarily valuable, and its worth continued to appreciate over time. Why? Because while some coins lose value, those made from precious metals like gold, silver, platinum, and even copper generally increase in worth. Coins with errors, however, don't always follow this trend. Base metal coins, such as aluminum, hold minimal value, and coins from defunct governments are even less valuable. But where did Anders' coins fit in? Although he didn't have the luxury of time, he had volume. With hundreds of thousands of pennies, perhaps one contained a valuable error. To transport his pennies to the Ruston Bank in Ruston, Louisiana, he enlisted the help of friends. They loaded the heavy jugs into his truck and then into the bank. The bank employees stared in shock as Anders wheeled in his containers. Their eyes widened at the sight of so many pennies. Anders feared they might refuse to help. He approached the teller and requested to cash in his pennies. "How many?" she asked. "I'm not sure exactly," Anders said. "I would estimate around 500,000 pennies." The teller looked at him incredulously. "Do you think we have the time to count 500,000 pennies?" She laughed. Anders chuckled awkwardly but persisted, explaining the sentimental value of his collection and his desire to cash out. The teller consulted her manager, who, upon recognizing Anders as a longtime loyal customer, agreed to help. The manager's face lit up when he saw Anders and immediately wanted to assist. "We value all our customers," he said, "and if we can help Anders with his unique situation, we're happy to do so." Anders and his friends transported the containers one by one. Bank employees gathered around as the first jug was opened and counted, making it one of the most exciting events at the bank in recent memory. It took 5 hours to process the pennies through a coin counting machine before the total was revealed. An astounding $5,136. For those calculating, that's about $114.4 a year. Anders had amassed this fortune by collecting discarded pennies from the streets. With his newfound cash, Anders covered an unexpected dental bill, a serendipitous stroke of luck. He also used some of the money for a family trip and donations to his church. Anders' penny collection was more than just a hobby. It was a testament to his faith and a reminder that even the smallest things can have great value. Who would have thought that a penny a day could lead to a $5,000 payout? Anders' patience and faith in his quirky hobby paid off, proving once again that life has a way of rewarding steadfast perseverance. "The world works in mysterious ways," he said. And for O.A. Anders, that adage certainly rang true.